My article is hyper local here in Sonoma County, California, and it's about a guy who just seems made for the headlines, ripe for coverage, and a level of crazy I couldn't even hope to aspire to. So, controversial Sonoma cannabis dispensary owner arrested on suspicion of brandishing weapons at shop customers. John Lowe was arrested October 18th after firing a taser at customers and brandishing a firearm, according to the Sonoma County Sheriff's officials. And this is in his dispensary that he owns. Sonoma County's most controversial weed purveyor has another headache on his hands, a recent arrest on weapons charges. John Lowe, known for his public angry tirades and anti-diversity rants, was arrested at his cannabis shop, Lowe Dispensary, at the Big Bend intersection south of the city of Sonoma on the afternoon of October 18th. The Sonoma County Sheriff's Office reported that Lowe, 50, fired a taser at customers, then pulled a handgun from his waistband and pointed it at two people. Lowe was arrested on charges of felony assault with a taser and a misdemeanor count of brandishing a firearm. He was booked at the Sonoma County Jail and later released on $20,000 bail. A conviction for firing a taser carries a term of up to 1 year in county jail. Exhibiting a firearm calls for no less than 3 months in county jail. According to the sheriff's office, the incident began when two customers were shopping at Lowe's dispensary and left the business without buying anything. See, that was your first mistake. One returned about a minute later, believing the other person had left his phone in the store. Well, clearly you're stoners. You couldn't keep track of your phone. I get it. I lived that life too. The second customer re-entered the shop shortly thereafter to say he'd found the phone in the car. Oh, of course you did, but you still needed to buy something. Something triggered an argument, and Lowe reacted by brandishing the weapon, according to police. After this article appeared online, Lowe's lawyer emailed to report that the Sonoma County District Attorney's Office had elected not to file criminal charges Friday, exonerating Lowe's bail. No indication was given in court today that a filing of any charges is anticipated, attorney Andy Martinez wrote. District Attorney Carla Rodriguez, however, told the Press Democrat her office had yet to reach a decision on charging Lowe. The district attorney has 1 year from the date of the arrest to make that determination. The sheriff's office description of the incident aligns with a Yelp review someone posted the day after the incident, imploring people of color and especially black people not to patronize Lowe's dispensary. Okay, was that because he pulled the taser or the pistol, or is it because all of his racist rants that are already public facing that you could have known about before you went to spend your dollars there? Never mind. Quote, Mr. Lowe accused me and another black customer of attempting to steal, rob, and thief from his store from the time we walked in until the time of checkout. It's not a checkout if you didn't buy anything. A reviewer posted under the name Kashad L. Mr. Lowe is highly suspicious of any blacks coming into a shop where an incident took place that led him to pulling a military police-grade taser, shot it at us. Lowe, you didn't even hit the customer. You're a bad shot. For that reason alone, people shouldn't shop in your store. And then also pulled his firearm at us with the intent to shoot us. Yelp did not include the post among its recommended reviews, and it did not factor into Lowe's business's dispensary rating. Lowe did not respond to the Press Democrat request for comment. Lowe is well known for his verbal attacks on local officials, particularly the Sonoma County Board of Supervisors. As the supervisors discussed a proposal for farm worker disaster pay in October of 2023, for example, Lowe berated them so vehemently that then Chair Chris Corsi adjourned the meeting. Lowe's brand of democracy is a little more disruptive than just throwing tea in the Boston Harbor. Lowe has denigrated people of color in the public forums. He has also kept up a long-running feud with neighbors in rural Sebastopol who have taken exception to the gun range he built on his property. The Press Democrat uncovered an apparent link between Lowe and a group of people who were organizing anti-Semitic and racist Zoom bombs of public meetings a year ago, though Lowe denied it was him. Many people working in the local cannabis trade were outraged to learn that the Sonoma County awarded Lowe $40,000 in the first round of cannabis equity grants earlier this year, with money channeled through a state program. Yes, the program was not means tested or race based. Be angry. Lowe has attacked the concept of equity funding in his grant application, writing to county staff, quote, "Shame on you to use race as a criteria," which they didn't. "Shame and illegal," which it isn't. "Stop being racist against white," capitalized, "just like you do for the other groups, please." Lowe based his equity claim on his brother's arrest on a marijuana-related charge. Yes, that qualifies under the local program. McCall Miller, God bless her, the county's cannabis omnibuds person, told the Press Democrat her office didn't consider Lowe's history of conflicts in awarding the grant. Correct, it's not based on merit or an integrity check or even a sanity requirement. A holding company belonging to Lowe, 17000 LLC, is in Chapter 11 bankruptcy. His attorney filed a repayment plan in U.S. bankruptcy court on October 25th. It gives Lowe a deadline of April 30th to sell his house on Barlow Lane in Sebastopol. Call the real estate team I work on. Valued at $4.7 million with liens of about $3.3 million, and to immediately pay his lenders from the proceeds. He owes money to the county, utility companies, and private creditors as well. Okay, you can't make this stuff up. This is right in my backyard. I could barely contain myself reading it. Sometimes real life is even crazier than art. This is Yarrow Kubrin with a hyper-local story. I'd love to hear what you guys think.
Ooh, pick me. This guy fucking sucks. Like, okay, I reported on him months ago, right? When he went on his whole rant about if he doesn't get these equity funds and this license, that he and the white guys are going to riot. Like, dude, come on.
Oh, this is the same guy?
Yes, what in the name of the KKK is going on up there, Yarrow?
He's the David Duke of Dank.
Wow. Like he's a bigger joke artist than the Yankees in Game 5 of the World Series. Let's be honest.
And he built a gun range at his house, yet he still missed. So what the fuck?
Yarrow, did you get this guy his social equity license? Go.
Well,
wait, did you?
We did get a super chat from the C Word who says voting sucks, which I totally disagree with personally, and he says smoke trap weed, which, you know what, the world agrees with 100% because the trap is beating the legal market out tenfold.
Okay,
Easy.
Can we talk about how somebody needs to go beat Greg Lowe out? Like, this guy is a freaking menace to society. Are you kidding me? Like,
hold on, is he a menace to society while drinking his apple juice, Jenny Beth?
Well, hold on, let me finish because I'm just really upset. Like, yes, unfortunately, you can't keep terrible people from having businesses, but he sounds like he's pretty bad at business too. But what we can do as an industry, because we know that we as an industry don't agree with people like this, is I could say, hey, you know what? I'm a distro. I'm not selling to you, dickhead. I'm not going to put my brand in your store, dickhead.
I mean, but from all these actions, is it?
Hold on, let me finish, Jason.
Go ahead.
Let's regulate this industry from within. We have the ability to self-regulate and keep women beaters, racist, terrible people away from this industry, and we choose to not do so, and I don't understand why.
No, I mean, but doesn't he stand to lose his licenses for having a firearm in a licensed space?
Probably, yes. I think that this is the gift that'll keep on giving. I don't think I need to go to Massachusetts regulators anymore or New York regulators anymore. I think I'm going to have an ample treasure trove of continuing content based on this guy's continued behavior. And what I think is most important about what Jenny Beth just talked about is, like, let the free market ostracize people who are not commercially viable because their thoughts and views are so off-putting that nobody would want to be affiliated. We just need to treat this industry like Adidas treated Kanye, okay? We don't need the Yeezy shoes. Let's be clear. And this gentleman is already, like, there's just so much documentation about the crazy things that he has said that I just feel bad for these two black people who went into his dispensary not knowing whose store they were purveying. Yes, it sucks to get shot at with a taser. I'm glad that he missed. And let's not forget, this guy being a crazy racist isn't the reason why a gun range on private property with the appropriate topography and acreage size isn't something that shouldn't still be allowed. So there's this sort of broad strokes approach where people are criticizing the local social equity program because somebody like this took money from it. No, let's just criticize this guy for being this guy, or criticizing gun ranges on private property because it's this guy. No, let's just criticize this guy for being this guy, or criticizing, whatever. John Lowe is John Lowe. And if we can keep the criticism about him, I have no doubt that people with this personality and approach to interacting with the rest of their community are inevitably going to be shunned and ostracized. You don't need to live in the Amish community to know that this guy is not going to be on any in-group anytime soon, because the things that he says are so hateful and so divisive that in this area, it's not aligned with the kumbaya that most people are trying to do. People around here, when they spend money, they want to feel good about who they're supporting, what brands they're supporting, what operators they're supporting. The only people I think this dispensary on the outskirts of the town of Sonoma is going to ever hope to get is the random person who needed to pull over because they needed a restroom. And while they were at it, they bought a tin of gummies.
I mean, listen, I just picture this guy in his cutoff jeans shorts at 3 a.m. with a fucking rifle, shoot in the air like this with a can of Bud Light and a fucking shitty cigar hanging out of his mouth. So, I mean, I just don't even think that this guy is somebody to be taken seriously. But at the same time, we need to be more careful of who we're awarding these licenses to, because obviously, yes, he sucks, but he's a terrible person. He's a dangerous person. He's giving the guy in Colorado that made the freaking makeshift tank and drove it through the whole town because they wouldn't give him a permit. That's what the guy reminds me of. It's a really great story.
He's tanking himself.
And Death Dozer or whatever. You remember that?
Yeah, of course. I have one parked in front of my house because I have issues too. But this guy is tanking himself. And the thing is that we don't need to worry about who we award licenses to, because the awarding of licenses is not an integrity test. The awarding of licenses is not about whether you're a good, upstanding human being. The awarding of licenses is very procedural and by the numbers. And if you check all the boxes, you get a license. We need to be awarding licenses more quickly to people that don't have to spend a ton of money in a holding pattern waiting. I would rather see lots of licenses with some winners, some losers, some consolidation, some maturation, and some where are they now. And we know that in a free market, people like Lowe aren't going to be able to attract and retain customers. And certainly he's not going to get an endorsement from the Taser company because he can't even hit the target.
I mean, there's a reason why you have to pass a live scan to be an owner. So I guess I'm just disappointed that Sonoma hadn't cuffed this guy up before and he was able to pass a live scan.
Because be a douchebag, and I will fight for your right to be a douchebag, but I would never be affiliated.
Fair enough. And I do want to read this quick comment from the C Word, who says, "Hi at 9 News, less BS and twice the JB."
Jiggling booty.
Great story, Yarrow. Thank you for sharing that.
Jiggling booty.
You ready? A lot of people got to vote today. I think we should make sure that they have some time to be able to go and vote today.
Let's do it, baby.
Yes.
All right.